Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the ASOTV podcast for the original, Season 4, Episode 3, Haunter of Ruins. I am your host, Mike, and joining me is Dom and Nikki and Kim.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Just gonna say that before I watched this episode, I had a revelation because I'm still rewatching the originals, and there was Eva Sinclair with the child stealing, and I was just like, "Fuck, that's what it is. It's not Davina being a nice protector ghost. It's Eva, but it wasn't really Eva, but it was still connected to her."
And it was at the time that I was walking downstairs with dinner, and she's watching the episode, and I just hear her go, "There's her fucking face!" from across the room. So I, of course, had to go over there and investigate.
Yeah, I was actually kind of aggravated to see
Now,
her face this episode.
I didn't actually go over there and look because I hadn't watched it yet, but my mind started swimming like, okay, so it was like Eva's face superimposed on the glowing blue orb or some shit. Like, what did she see? Why is she yelling
Like
this?
Zordon?
Yes, is she like a Zordon ball or something? So I'm walking back over here to, I'm walking back over here to load up the episode, and I'm just thinking to myself, what the fuck could have gotten that reaction?
It's morphin' time.
I was very disappointed as it was, much more, much less random and weird. Anyway, flashback time. Flashback to when Vincent and Eva were living together and married, and she was pregnant. And Marcel was still in control of the city, and the Mikealsons didn't return yet.
So basically what's happening now.
Yes,
Basically.
exactly. Except 8+ years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't hiding, they were just elsewhere.
Right, they were just elsewhere. Oh, you can't go into the quarter, it's dangerous, Marcel owns it. She's like, so let's get the hell out of here. He's like, give me 6 months, I'll fix everything. And then suddenly, spooky book.
In his handwriting, nonetheless.
Okay,
Yeah.
this
Doesn't
book, okay,
remember writing.
the book appears out of nowhere. It's in his handwriting. You can't burn it. He doesn't remember writing it, like you said. And it scared him enough that he told Marcel, get rid of this. And hide this. And if you ever see me going for it, kill me.
Well, I mean, it's, we had the flashback of Eva and Vincent all throughout the episode, like flashbacks, left, right, center. And during one of the flashbacks, evil Eva said, "It's in you too. It's never going to go away, and it's going to use you later." So I think it's not just, him being scared that he's scared that whatever this entity is actually going to take control of him and want that book.
And he's going to start, the entity's going to take control of him, and he's going to start going around sacrificing kids.
Yeah. Yeah. And did anybody recognize the guy that was sacrificing the kids this episode?
No.
Did he look familiar to anyone?
No.
He was a name. He didn't even give the character a name.
Well, I mean,
I'm just calling him Creepy Cult Guy. Because he was creepy and he reminded me of a cultist.
I swear I've seen... He's probably one of those one-off characters, side characters on Supernatural that we've seen recently, because CW. And that's probably the reason why.
That's why his face looks familiar.
Yeah.
It's possible.
One of the Monsters of the Week characters.
They like to reuse their extras, so that's very possible. But I didn't recognize him at all, and I didn't catch a name, and I read a couple of recaps and stuff, and they didn't have a name listed, so I'm just calling him Creepy Cultist. Yeah, creepy book. I like creepy books. Things I...
I don't know. I mean, is it... It would be classified as a Book of Shadows for a witch, correct? Now, is it
Yeah.
is it Vincent? Since he wrote it, or because we know he was trying to do sacrificial stuff, but
Right.
prior to getting the book, and then the book was like that open door to a whole new like bit of sacrificial, and it wasn't to the ancestors, it was to this entity of what the hell ever it is. So I don't,
I have no idea. But
and I don't think after, if it really wants Hope, because I think Hope is just the catalyst, and it won't need any more sacrifices after Hope.
probably not. Speaking of Hope, I think we all love Hope.
Adorable.
Oh, yeah.
We have someone in chat, Baby Batcat Fanatic, saying, if after everything Klaus's daughter dies, I will riot.
That's not going to happen, Baby Batcat, because what's going to happen is she's going to go live with Caroline in their nice little boarding house for magical supernatural peoples, and she's going to, meet the little Gemini twins, and they're going to be besties.
There was something that during this episode, I don't know why I was thinking it. I think it was, not to sidetrack a bit, but it was when Rebecca and Cole with the car. And I was like, please tell me we're gonna have like another spin-off show, and it could just be the adventures of Cole and Rebecca driving, like a cross-country road trip, kind of like Supernatural, but with them.
And I
love it.
At that exact scene, I thought, my exact thought as they drove away was, what are they, setting up another spin-off? Like Vampire Diaries is done, Julie's, she's bored, she doesn't have enough on her plate.
Well, Julie, not only that, but Julie's co-producer for the Vampire Diaries, Kevin Williamson, just had his big show, Time After Time, pulled off air and canceled. So
Yeah, so I guess they both have more time if they're going to be back together writing stuff. So
Isn't that Damien's car? Damon's car? Is that Damon's car? The blue one? Doesn't it look like the same car you use all the time?
Wasn't that car white?
Similar, but no, it's not the same.
Okay.
I thought the car was white.
No, it was blue.
Oh.
Damon's car was blue.
I know Damon's car was blue, but the one that they got into with that guy that, she ate.
No, it was blue too. I swear it was the same car.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, to reuse props too, that's a good thing. That's saving on money there.
But Cole and Rebecca, because they've been listed as like special guests in the beginning opening credits, so I'm guessing they were only around for a couple episodes like usual, and they're off on their own adventures.
I mean, you can kind of assume from the promo poster that's been going around for this season, Cole and Rebecca aren't on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even...
I get that. I get that from Rebecca, right? I know Claire Holt, the actress, has a lot on her plate. She wants to do a couple, other things in acting, and she wants to spend more time with her family. Her, I can understand, but Nathaniel wants, Cole wants to be on the show. So I don't know why they keep writing him off.
Maybe he's just a pain in the ass to work with.
No.
I mean, that is very possible. It's something,
No, Julie's expressed her love for working with him.
Okay, well.
I don't know. But
maybe it's just, that's just Julie. What about the rest of the cast?
This has got to be one of the few times, maybe even the only time, that Rebecca has parted ways with Klaus on good terms, with nothing.
It is literally the only time.
With neither hatred, plots of vengeance, or some creepy doom coming after either of them.
Well, that's what she said. That's why she wants to leave now.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a good time to leave on a good note.
That is a great
It's like
point.
The moment she's gone, they get the information of doom. It just kind of like just appears, and it's like, Rebecca, they need you now. They need you. God damn it. Cole can go. Rebecca, they need you.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Cole comes back. Or did it say that it was only a couple episodes?
I have no idea.
No,
we don't know anything. We're just guessing.
Yeah, this is
the only
all
way we
speculation.
can even kind of confirm is go on IMDb and see how many episodes he's slotted for. But then we still don't even know if that's all
accurate.
together or
Yeah.
spread out, or if that's accurate. I mean, because I think it's a short season, right? It's only 16 episodes.
Yeah.
So I think they've done the bulk of the recording. So
Probably. Let's see, where was I going with this one? Hope is... I kind of felt bad for
Adorable?
Klaus. She is adorable. I kind of felt bad for Klaus initially, because she just, like, comes out like, hi, can I go play in the garden? And just, like, walks right past him, and he's just like,
Well,
Oh,
it
no.
was
Not
awkward
only
at
past
first.
him, the whole family was there. She was so
Mhm.
overwhelmed.
yeah, they were all sitting there. They were all talking. Klaus had just had an outburst, and I'm pretty sure she could have heard it because she was probably walking out the door as that was happening. So she's probably a lot more than overwhelmed. She's
Yeah,
probably
she's
just, like
He's a
done with that
very
whole
sensitive
situation.
kid.
she was
Yeah.
in the process of opening the door.
Mhm.
Well, he walks over. Yeah, Kaylee makes a good point. You're like, what is the word? How did she put it?
In Knight Shining Armor.
Yeah, you're
fairy
the
tale.
you're
prince.
the fairy tale prince in her life, and she's kind of stricken and overwhelmed.
Mhm.
But I think that was probably the cutest moment in television I've ever seen when he walks over there and she's just like, "Mommy tells me you like to paint too." Just puts the piece of paper down and like gives him a nod, like with a kind of a sassy
What are you
face.
waiting for?
It's like, bitch, sit down and paint with me.
That I was like, oh, my heart. It hurts.
My
My
It
heart.
hurts and it hurts. And it's melting at the same time. What is this feeling?
Oh my god, my heart. My heart. Oh my god, my heart.
I mean,
my hurts it hearts.
oh god.
My heart. My heart too.
It was a great moment, like, and you could see just like Klaus, his
The smile.
Joseph is such a great actor, just from even just being angry all the time from all basically up to the season, but to see him like just like glow, like the actor actually glow, and
I haven't seen a smile on his face like that since him and Caroline were in the woods together.
Yeah.
that's a completely
Look at
different
that.
kind of smile. Do not compare those smiles.
Wow. She got mad.
And I'm saying it's a smile of love.
Yes.
Yes.
He gets to paint
Well,
some
not
watercolor.
the same kind of love, but love nonetheless.
I mean, watercolor isn't his medium, but, he still painted because that was a moment he could not pass up.
And then they go walking in the woods, sharing stories about how he used to paint.
She heals a butterfly.
She heals a butterfly.
Don't tell mommy.
Don't tell mommy.
But Mommy already knows.
Yeah.
Because Mommy's in the barn talking about how she's healing fireflies.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but, don't tell mommy I did this specific thing. Or I'll get in trouble.
Klaus is just like,
Speaking of mommy in the barn, Haley's kind of regretting, she made a deal with Keelan to let her go. And she kind of feels bad because this is one of her people, one of her kind, suffering in pain, having her venom forcefully extracted by some crazy torture mask.
This part made me so angry with Freya because, I mean, it seemed like last season she really, really, built her character up, that she was the good sister and everything. And then she's pulling this shit, and I just remember because I'm rewatching the originals, and I'm at the part with Dahlia and stuff, and they're talking about how the firstborn of every generation of the Mikealsons, of the witches, that they're super duper powerful, and I think she's losing control again.
I think she's kind of somewhat mirroring Klaus's obsession with things. Like, her obsession is keeping her family. And
Because she doesn't have control over her witch powers, which are very manipulative.
Oh, I'm just thinking that she's letting the whole must keep my family at any cost go to her head, regardless of control or
It's
not
Klaus
control.
syndrome.
Yeah, it's Klaus syndrome. She will torture, maim, kill, and do whatever she has to keep her family because she was separated them for, centuries.
Yeah.
Come on, she lost her brother again.
Mm-hmm. And she lost a brother
It's
again.
true. It's true.
So
She's definitely very protective. But I think the one having trouble with the magic is Haley. not Haley. Hope.
Mm-hmm.
But
Well, no. That's to be expected because they have the bracelet on her.
yeah,
She's also young.
Yeah, she's very young. Like
Right.
the way Dahlia explained it is like she needs a tutor, and I'm the one. That's why she wanted her so bad because she didn't.
she's
want
got the
power to be
bracelet on her,
over-
but she's still fixing butterflies with the bracelet on.
No,
No,
she
no,
took
she-
it off.
Oh, she took it off.
Oh,
took
did
it off
she?
and gave it to
Okay.
Klaus.
She took it off and gave it to Klaus. Yeah.
Yeah. So she knows that the bracelet is confining her magic. I think what at this point, with the Doom shit aside, with the Ouroboros sigil in New Orleans, I think Freya should be concentrating on Hope and trying to help Hope control her powers.
Right,
but,
but instead,
She's obsessing.
she's teaming. Well, after Elijah, basically tells Haley, just, set her free. It's gonna eat away at you. Let her go. And then Freya tracks her down and recaptures her. Makes a deal with her. You made a good point because we find out that Keelan used science to suppress her werewolf side.
So basically, what you're telling me is the actress is still playing Jana from Containment.
Yeah,
Yes.
she's still. She was even talking like a scientist, and it was creeping me out.
Yeah, like that's all I could think of. I was like, isn't this what your character did on Containment the whole time? Was try to make a cure for the virus, and now you're trying to make a cure for werewolfism?
Mhm.
For like.
Well,
Like control.
Yeah.
Freya has a very good point. All these monsters, supernatural beings, they're still biological organisms. Study it.
Werewolf mice.
Yeah, now the idea is to cure Marcel, right? Is that what's going on?
It's find a way to weaken him.
I mean, I kind of feel that Marcel's going to be done this season.
I don't think so. You see, Rebecca's still got feelings for him, and
If
even though
she's
she
done-
left, she'll be back in the nick of time.
Mm-hmm.
To save him from. He'll be weakened to the point where like he doesn't have any of his powers and stuff again.
As
So he'll just
soon
be
as
like.
she gets wind that something bad may happen to Hope, she's gonna come running back.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I do too.
Because I mean, she did spend 6 months. I
Yeah.
think it was 6 months with Hope, with her and Hope alone, when Hope was an infant. So
Mm-hmm.
she does have that connection with Hope.
I mean, you saw right after Hope fixed the butterfly too, when they were going inside, you saw whatever was going on in the forest, like trailing after her. There's like a little portal thing, and you had like these black trails in the ground, like
Mm-hmm.
Snakes.
Like- yeah,
Or shadow like snakes.
yeah,
Something fun and evil looking.
Serpents. They're supposed to. I think it's supposed to represent like serpents.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Haley, while we're on the topic, her and Elijah finally say the 3 magic words of "I love you" to one another.
No, I love them.
I know you do. That's why
I was sitting there this whole time going, I'm not going to hear the end of this out of Kim, and I'm not going to hear the end of this out of Mike.
And
This is going to be the highlight of their talking point.
I read this recap earlier, and it said, is it just me, or do we need to see Elijah shirtless more often? And I'm like, looking at the author, like, did Kim write this? Where is it? It's like, where's the
No,
byline?
She would have
Byline? No.
She wouldn't ask the question, should we see him more shirtless more often? She'd be like, we need to see him shirtless more often. There would be a demand, not a question.
Settle down there,
is
Commander.
this true, Kim? Is this true?
Is this
Yes.
true, Kim? That would
Very
be your
true.
right. You would demand.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what? That
Uh,
scene, I
well,
kind of,
Like I'm okay with it.
yeah, I kind of actually blanked out for just this scene because it's like I expected it to happen, so it's like whatever.
It was a very fast scene.
It was a very fast.
Yeah,
scene.
it wasn't that long, but I
And everywhere they're doing the whole vampire.
Mm-hmm. So, on to the creepy stuff this episode.
You mean the best part?
Yeah. Marcel and Vincent, Marcel teams up with Vincent because apparently Marcel trusts him enough to, believe him when he says, shit's getting real.
well, they've kind of in the 5 years that the Michaelsons have been out, they kind of created a bond because Vincent is the witchy part of New Orleans and Marcel is basically the rest of it.
Right.
So they kind of have to work together. And Vincent, even though he's not the leader of the covens, he kind of is at the same time. So it makes sense for them to work together.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of a long time coming.
Yeah. So they they follow a lead on the missing kids to an old Strix mansion in the middle of nowhere. And that's where they discover creepy cult dude. And 4 white-eyed zombie children just lining up ready to be slaughtered, or whatever the hell is going on there. Quick thinking to break a piece of that iron, I don't know, was that the mantle to a fireplace or something off and flinging it at Marcel, which was, I guess, more effective than I expected it to be.
He was faking.
I thought it was like some sort of fence or something, and when Vincent knocked him out and he managed to mumble, "Let it be done," and the kids fell over, I thought they all got impaled onto this thing, and I'm like,
I thought the same thing. I thought they were going to fall over on something and get impaled.
I was like, no.
And
There was serious kid death going on there.
and then when I hit the ground, I just thought to myself, yeah, that would be too brutal even for this show.
You're dealing with, like, dark magic. Nothing's too brutal.
True. But the guy recognized Vincent.
Let's just kill our pet bird.
Yeah, let's just, kill the pet bird, because it has to be something you love. It would be a more meaningful sacrifice.
But, I mean, dealing with hurting kids in general is always, it's that you're starting to push the envelope there.
Yeah, it's
TV.
almost it's like a taboo thing for TV.
Right.
Mess with kids. You start messing with kids, it's like...
Yeah, even when Zachary Quintos was in the show The Slap, that show got so much flack.
Well, like, you also think too, it's not only that, it's child actors in general. It's difficult to work with because laws and stuff regulate that you can only work with them so many hours a day. So when you do see child actors, it's usually short scenes, and that's why you don't see a lot of them around. That's not necessarily why you're not going to see them killed off and stuff like that. Yeah, it starts a controversy, but in the same regard, it's something that we deal with on, like, The Walking Dead, for example. Like, you go and watch a show like that, and you would think in a world where, there's children around all the time that you'd see more children zombies. And to be honest, there's not many in the series. The only one that I really recall, other than maybe, 1 or 2 after the fact, there was one in the very first episode of season 1, and then we've had maybe 2 others throughout the entire show's run, and they're in season 8 right now. So,
and it's always a big deal when they come on screen too.
Yeah. So, a show like this, yeah, it would be a big controversy thing, but it's also why you don't see a lot of kids on the show to begin with. With Haley, it's going to be Hope. With Hope, it's going to be interesting to see how much of a role she's going to be able to play in this. Just because of the amount of hours and stuff that she has to film.
It's done. I mean, it's obviously, now that it's gotten more, more, I guess. They've been moving forward, I guess. Even though it's taboo when it comes to, like, the whole death stuff, they've been push it a little bit more now than they used to.
Yeah.
So it's not as, but, and you're right, they're still going to have labor laws when it comes to kids. So one way or the other, they have to stick to that.
Right.
That's why you usually see twins acting for the same role.
2 different kids, you can double their screen time.
Yep.
So Vincent and Marcel successfully thwart the creepy cultist, and Vincent reverses the spell, or so he claims, because he knows it. Although he knows the magic involved. And it was at that point that he realizes there's 5 totems, 4 kids. Where's the 5th one? Well, while all this is happening, Hope senses something's kind of wrong. I don't feel so good, and her nose starts bleeding.
Oh, Marcel figured it out. He recognized
The
Hope's brush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't recognize the brush. He turned it over and saw the Mikealson crest on the back of it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. To which Vincent says, they gotta bring her back here right now. Like, I need to
'Cause
cleanse her.
Yeah, the only way to stop it is to cleanse her on the ground that the spell was cast, which is there where they're at. So not where the Mikealsons are.
And Marcel, initially pitches kind of a half a fit there, and Vincent's like, dude, she's a kid.
She's practically your sister.
He's just like, that just halts him in his tracks. Like, shit, you're right, she's a kid. Fine, they can come back to cleanse her, but don't tell anybody I said that. It's like, I gotta keep, keep the public image up. So, Elijah and Klaus are bringing Hope back to New Orleans.
Haley too.
Haley
was actually the one that said both of you are coming with me because this needs to be done as a family. I need you guys. So
they throw the 4 kids in an ambulance to be taken to the hospital to be checked out. And then, okay, Detective Kinney. I thought he died.
I thought so too.
I remember, I know a lot of shit went down with him. He was compelled to do some really crazy shit, and I thought he was actually compelled to go crazy, legitimately. And I could have swore that he died in like one of the later episodes of last season.
Yeah, I thought he died before Cammy was turned. Or actually during the whole transition, like her first few days of being a vampire.
Well, anyway, Detective Kinney, slayer of the innocent ambulance driver, and kidnapper of traumatized children.
It's okay. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
So
that's what he says.
Yeah, is this thing bouncing from people to people? This dark force have Kinney under its control?
Where we left off with him was in I don't know what episode or what season this was. The episode was called "Give 'Em Hell, Kid."
3, because that's when he.
That's it.
Yeah.
Last season.
Season 3, episode 21. It is heavily implied at Cammy's wake that Will was compelled to forget about the supernatural world of New Orleans.
Oh, that was it.
But he couldn't shake off a feeling that something was wrong and saw through the lie of how Cammy really died. Vincent decides to entrust him and reintroduces Will to the supernatural world he had forgotten about. Will uses his connects to send in a SWAT team to arrest a pair of witches under the claim that they were a cult and called in a bomb threat to evacuate all of the city cemeteries so Vincent could bring a device to a deceased Davina to cut off contact between the ancestors of their descendants. And then in the next episode, when he was at the St. Anne's Church, he was badly injured by a vampire, which made Vincent realize that Marcel is cut from the same cloth as his adoptive family. So he was not killed, but he was very badly injured by a vampire.
So that's probably why I thought he was killed off.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But that was the closing scene of the episode, him driving off with the 4 witch kids.
Yep, telling them they're going to be okay.
Yeah, I feel like this force, this entity, it's not bouncing around. I think it's just taking control of whoever it feels like at any time it has the opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like this. It's kind of like it's like in the air. It's like in the ground. It's like
it's just the essence of what's around them now.
I mean, we don't know why he hijacked the ambulance. We don't know if it's to continue the ritual or if it's to save him. Because if he knows about the supernatural world, that may be a possibility that he's legit trying to prevent this, and he feels he's the only one that could do it. I don't think that's the case, but it's possible. I think
we can also assume that Vincent has gotten into contact with him and telling him what is going on, being like the originals are coming back to New Orleans, get those kids out, or bring those kids back, or anything like that. It's just.
Or the ambulance driver was taken over and he killed him because of that.
Yeah, there's that as well.
Yeah, there's a possibility we didn't see.
Mm-hmm. But why would he kill?
I don't know. So that's really about it for this episode. Yeah. Next episode is called Keepers of the House. And we get quite a bit for this one. Desperate to save her daughter, Haley turns to Marcel for help uncovering information about the mysterious force that has set its sights on the children of New Orleans. While Klaus remains behind with Hope, Elijah and a reluctant Vincent join the hunt, which puts them on a dangerous collision course with an unlikely new threat. Finally, Freya and Keelan must put aside their differences to embark as they embark on a journey that may alter the power dynamic in New Orleans forever. Now, I was waiting until after I read this to put out a little theory. They show a scene with them doing something with Hope. She's unconscious. And she's surrounded by a circle of dead ravens. Which witch do we know was very into ravens?
Dahlia?
No, Esther. Ravens
No,
were her
Esther.
thing.
Esther was starlings.
Oh, starlings. That's right.
Dahlia was ravens.
Sabrina, the teenage witch.
Her too. So I don't know. I just got a feeling like they're bringing back one of those witchy people, but
Yeah.
No.
What I'm
Really
really
more
starting to
into
like about
vampires.
the season is diving deeper into this curse and these witches and stuff. It shifted us away of the battle for the quarter,
Yeah.
which has kind of been the running theme for the last 3 seasons.
It has, yeah.
Really, really like that we've stepped away from that now.
I think we have space to do that now because Julie has more time to focus on an actual storyline than a trope that she's basically created for this particular series. So it definitely can notice that she's definitely had more insight into involvement in this current storyline. You see a lot of the Julie Plex, little tricks and twists here and there.
and
And it's only 3 episodes in, so
3 episodes in, I am perfectly content with this season so far. No arguments.
Yep, it's been a great season.
I definitely feel like I'm more into this season than I was last season.
Yeah.
oh, definitely. So far,
Definitely. Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, I can agree with that.
Big time. Is there anything else you guys want to mention for this episode?
More shirtless with Elijah. No, I'm kidding.
More shirtless Elijah. She demands it. I want to see.
More shirtless Rebecca.
I
No,
can get on board with that.
no. I want to see more painting with Klaus and Hope. I want to
Oh,
see
yes.
them.
Okay.
I wanna see more-
Hope moments.
I want to see more bonding, father-daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that was absolutely fantastic. We definitely need more of that.
I mean, I know.
I want to see time with the aunts and uncles too, though.
That's true. I definitely want to see Hope and Elijah bond because I think that would be an interesting little dynamic there. But I see Klaus kind of, encouraging her mischievous side because the way that he looked at her when she said, "Don't tell Mummy," he was like, "Okay."
I would much rather see Hope and Cole, personally.
Oh, you want her to be in juvenile freaking jail
No,
or
I just
whatever
think
it's
they'd
called?
have a lot of fun going out together.
I just want Elijah to teach her his secrets of how to always have a good outfit as a backup. I still swear to God, he has suits everywhere.
He just has bunkers or vaults all over the country full of his clean
all
suits.
over the world.
He's just beautiful.
Because no matter what happens, within 5 minutes, he's always got a fresh suit.
He's a vampire. He's quick.
He's dapper.
Yeah, true. He's quick. He's dapper. But they're fitted suits, so that's why I think he has vaults of them anyway. Anyway, before I dive down the rabbit hole of my Elijah has suit vault conspiracy, that's our show. Dom, where can they find you?
Building a suit vault down at Phenomenon. PHENOMETOM.
Nikki, where can they find you?
On Twitter. Not a vault. On Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
And Kim, where can they find you?
On Twitter is demanding more shirtless Elijah. HUFFITYPUFFIT.
You can find me on Twitter doing all of those things at Thilladren, THILLADREN.
All of them? Building a suit vault, not being in a vault, and more shirtless Elijah? All of those?
Yes.
Huh.
You can follow us all also on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. You can follow us at those places for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. Getting tongue-tied there. Thank you all for watching. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Uh,
I was gonna ask, How can you build something and not be in it? But you can build it from the outside, so it's okay. I got it. It's fine.
If you build it, they will come.